Anton, Anton Chekhov, the Russian dramatist as well as a short story writer. He is also introduced as a leading voice for modern drama, especially for his concern for naturalist theater. So, Anton Chekhov, who was a physician by profession, he wrote short stories and plays both, was impressed by storytelling of his mother. These are his four great plays: The Seagull, Uncle Vanya, Three Sisters, and The Cherry Orchard. Cherry Orchard is a play that's about the fallen or declining aristocracy of Russia, which is represented through the character of Madame Lyubov, who cannot digest the emerging realities of industrial world, where working class, represented through character of Lopahin, have an advantageous position rather than the agrarian aristocratic class. Before I mention this play, Cherry Orchard, I would like to say a few words about this play. One act farcical play, The Bear. I think all the participants are aware of this play, and we see a landowner, an retired artilleryman, Samanov, visits a young widow, Papua, whom he has to take, whom he has to get back 1200 rubles, which actually Papua's late husband Nikolai Mikhailovich borrowed from that landowner. At surface level, we see that Papua, who shows a hypocritical mourning for a husband who was not loyal to her, and he was a womanizer, morally corrupt, but just to save her social reputation and get admiration from society, and to prove that a woman is even loyal to the memory of a husband who was not true to her. She poses that she is in a state of mourning, and she has buried herself in four walls. Samanov comes and asks for the debt, which she says that she cannot pay because her steward is not at home. And she asks him to come the day after tomorrow. Samanov insists to clear his account immediately because he is in urgent need of money. They exchange harsh words, and then they comment on the nature of men and women. And a proverb that laughing men and crying women are not reliable, that proves right, because both, whatever they claim, their claims are refuted by their actions. Samanov claims that women are vain, trivial, and insincere. Puffer claims that women are loyal, but men are not, and she is loyal to a disloyal husband. He exposes hypocrisy of her mourning, that she is rejoicing and using cosmetics, but just to show the people she pretends to be in a state of mourning. Their harsh exchange leads to a duel. Duel, you know, that's a typical expression to assert love. But here, that's not a duel between lover and rival, but between a man and woman, Samanov and Papua. And that's not actual duel, but a farcical duel where their true intentions are exposed. Samanov confesses his love for Papua, and Papua is in great conflict whether to own it or disown it, but she has no other option. And in the last scene, when she asks her servant Luca to not pay extra ode to Toby, that is the horse of her late husband, she declares her loyalty from Nikolai Mikhailovich to the new master, new our future husband, Samanov. That play is an example of, you can say, style of Chekhov and concerns of Chekhov. Style mean he blends tears with laughter. The play is simultaneously tragic as well as comic. And second point is, this play, The Bear, shows an aristocracy is trying her best to save their faces because they are short of money. So they need some decent proposal. That's why a widow, she can't afford to let down a man. And even in their first meeting, she decides to marry that man who has expressed his love for her. Actually, once aristocracy was powerful and there was a tradition of serfs, यानी किसानों को गुलाम बनाकर रखने की रिवाज. They were serfs, you can say, working as peasants, but their position was not different from slaves. And industrial world, industrialization of society gave a hope to that downtrodden working class, the serfs. And serfs, through their, or you can say, the present generations of the serfs, they got rid of the burden of serfdom. And through their hard work, through their business sense, through their intelligence, they got recognition and social influence. In this play, The Cherry Orchard, Madame Lyubov and her brother, they are leading a nostalgic life because they are in romance of great tradition of their ancestors, where they were givers, where they were masters, and they had not seen neither economic crisis nor social disregard or disrespect. But in present world, they are experiencing a bitter situation where they are brought in a state of competition with those people whose ancestors were their serfs or slaves. यानी जिनके बाप दादा उनके गुलाम थे, अब उनके साथ वो कंपटीशन करें, they cannot do this. It demands a new mentality, a changed mindset, which they cannot afford. So they try to live in nostalgic world. Their states are going to shatter. Their wealth is just a borrowed money, either from banks or landlords or the emerging industrialists. Madame Lyubov faces a crisis that her cherry orchard will be auctioned if, as she has failed to pay back her loans. The cherry orchard is name of the state that belongs to Madame Lyubov. That's at micro level, but at macro level, we can say the cherry orchard is very like the old order. That's a family of impoverished nobles whose cherry orchard is heavily mortgaged. They wish, mean Madame Lyubov, her brother Gya, her daughter Vera, to find a way of saving the garden, but they cease to do so. I have just mentioned the reason. They are not those creatures who can work. They have enjoyed the privilege or advantages of their state in the past. So they cannot adapt themselves to the new demands. Second, they are people of pride and ego, which is burden of aristocracy, which is still with them, though advantages of aristocracy have already gone back. Lopahin is a merchant. His ancestors were serfs of Lyubov aristocracy. Actually, as aristocrats, they have a sense of superiority. We can say serfs, they have a sense of inferiority complex. And that complex is that they have wealth, but they don't have name, family pride. And still, they are inwardly impressed by the culture, manners, beauty, ethics and aesthetics of the aristocracy. He wants to have a connection with aristocratic class, and he has fallen in love with foster daughter of Madame Lyubov Vera. So, for multiple reasons, just as a revenge for the treatment of his ancestors as serfs, as a token of love for Vera, and as a harbinger of change for commercialization or industrialization of agricultural land, Lopahin buys the garden and decides to change that cherry orchard into flats. So he lays an axe to it, mean that cherry orchard will be destroyed, and in its place a commercial enterprise will be built. Lopahin and Madame Lyubov, they represent two classes. Lopahin is emerging working class who has attained wealth, we can say rags to riches story. And Madame Lyubov, once she had money and now she has lost it. There is third generation, and that's the future of Russia, which is anticipated through character of Trofimov, who has revolutionary ideas. Lopahin has made contribution through business and industry, but Trofimov is engaged in intellectual, idealist, and revolutionary ideas. Through Trofimov, it is seen that new era is coming, and when commercial concern will be superseded by the nationalist, revolutionary, and intellectual concern. That also shows that there is no way back. Mean, from industrial phase, Russia will not return to agricultural phase. From agriculture to industrial, and from industrial to revolutionary phase, it will move on. Dramatist claims that he has written a comedy, but between the line, this play is full of pathos, and there are emotions which are aroused for the character of Madame Lyubov. So in this way, it has tragic elements, and you can say a moderate position is taken, and it is said that it's a tragic comedy. Cherry Orchard is thought a naturalist play because of hereditary that dictates the impulse of Lyubov family, and second, that's the environment in which she was brought up, and We see even in her bad days, worst economic condition, when their state is going to be auctioned, if someone comes and begs for money, she does not hesitate to lend or give. So generosity, which she has experienced through ages, she continues. And she is actually uh, seen with that generations of order that is called the old order by First. First is an old man, and he does not believe in new ideas. In his old age, he continues to serve Madame Lyubov instead of trying new opportunities which some other servants are doing. So, first represents a generation that is meant for service. Madame Lyubov represents a generation that enjoys that service and she commands and orders. At the end of the play, First dies. We can say the generation that was prepared, that was trained for service, that is no more for service to aristocracy. Next generations are represented in one generation through Lopahin and future generation through Trofimov. One has given the economic challenge and the other is going to pose the economic or radical challenge. And intellectual generation represented through Trofimov have an aim to destroy the all monuments and signs of old age. So through disorder, through chaos, they are moving towards a change, a revolution. So the Cherry Orchard as a tragic comedy, Cherry Orchard as a naturalist play that I have introduced. Just last statement is Chekhov's naturalism is thought a bit different from naturalism of August Strindberg and other naturalist dramatists. It is thought his focus is more on the art of depiction rather than political consciousness of any is like naturalism or realism. Though his play defies symbolism and symbolic interpretation, but sometimes we can see that these images, as the image of cherry orchard, suggest something profound. If we take this, we are bringing a tradition that's a tradition of symbolism. Cherry Orchard's drama is thought nearest to cinematic production. Mean cinematic mode is thought nearest to the art of Chekhov's drama, Chekhov's work. These are his other plays. Some features are mentioned here. These are about his style. He selects important moments from the trivial ones. Mean ordinary episodes are turned into extraordinary. as the odd episode of Auction of Cherry Orchard is the basic event around which the whole play is built upon. He prefers precision, brevity, and conciseness. He does not preach any ideology. We can say neither revolutionary nor anti-revolutionary. He prefers objectivity, and objectivity means he prefers naturalist interpretation. Delineation of ordinary characters mean minor characters are also treated like a human being. They can also grow and develop in their lives. That is seen in his work. His idea of dialogue is what is said is more important than what is done. And that is contrasted with Harold Pinter, the absurdist dramatist statement, who says, we say when we don't say anything. There was a Russian theorist of drama, Stanislavski. Both made collaboration and paid closer attention to the important unsaid messages within the writing. It is said that Stanislavski's, though he was also a playwright, and but his theory of theater, that was popularized by Chekhov's practical examples. The Swiss dramatist August Strindberg is known for his many great plays, including his masterpiece Miss Julie and The Dream Play. Miss Julie, when it was performed, it was identified as the play that embraced the principle of naturalism, and it showed how they could be manifested in theater. Miss Julie has since become the part of the canon of modernist plays, though it was originally banned or refused performances in a number of countries, including his homeland, Sweden. André Antoine, who is a torch-bearer of modern drama known as Théâtre Libre, and he mounted a celebrated production of Miss Julie. Miss Julie raises issues of gender, sexual politics, and class relevant to the emancipatory era for which it was originally written. So, Miss Julie has three characters: Miss Julie, Jean, and Christine. Miss Julie is an aristocrat and Jean is her servant. and Christine is cook. In fact, dramatist who presents naturalist philosophy and naturalist techniques in that play, and it is thought the best example of naturalist drama. Naturalist philosophy is present accurate, exact detail to assert the idea of biological determinism and environmental determinism. And techniques are detailed stage description, as we see description of scene here. Second idea is that Strindberg was a misogynist dramatist, mean anti-woman. His philosophy is that women are impulsive, and their impulsiveness can lead to irrational, irresponsible conduct. There are many misogynist remarks about women in his dramas. That's why feminists accuse these plays for, you can say, anti-woman aspects of his plays. Here we see a woman of aristocracy, Julie. She is provoked to hear the Easter carol or songs, and Jean, who is a servant, try to manipulate that girl. He knows her weakness. Weakness is want of love. Weakness is admiration and desire for, you can say, sexual relationship. And Jean offers that in return of raising his commanding position and bringing her to the position of a servant. Mean he is reversing class roles. He is a servant, Julie is mistress, or you can say master, but he treats her